Welcome to the Vision Gap Show. Align your big idea and vision with a plan of action to resonate and stand out in your market. With your hosts, Andy Halko and Tony Zayas.
All right, welcome to today's episode. We're going to dive in and take a look at the legal tech space. We're in here in Frictionless, and Andy, we're going to dive in and talk a little bit about the value of really intimately understanding target audiences, building up personas, segments, things like that. But focused here today, one of the segments that we work with a lot is the folks in legal tech.
Yeah, I think, starting off with target audiences and really focusing on that is always one of the most important things to me. And I think we've shared this in almost everything that we talk about, but intimately understanding your target audience really is the key to success, because when you intimately understand them, you can create content that resonates. You can create ads that build confidence and pique interest. And the less that you know your audience, the more ineffective anything in marketing and sales is going to be. And so for those that are really driven to increase sales, increase leads, the number one thing that they can do is understand their target audience really in depth, down to every minute piece, right?
Yeah, and definitely. And the whole idea of, speaking to your target audience goes a lot deeper than, just giving it a thought. It's really the deep dive and understanding their responsibilities, understanding their roles, who they work with. So what we have here in Frictionless allows us to build that out. It allows us to inform the process through the AI. And I think does a phenomenal job of doing this in a quick fashion, something that would have in the past taken many weeks or months can be done in a few minutes from here. So I know we're going to dive in and take a look at how the persona function works. And we're looking here at a law firm partner as our first persona that we have up on the screen.
Yeah, and I think, where you start with a legal tech is that there are a wide variety of different folks that you target, right? It can be in-house counsel, and that could be at, kind of mid-market, enterprise. You could be targeting law firms, and then law firms come in so many different shapes and sizes that, there might be a title-focused law firm or injury. And then from there, it can be one man up to thousands, right? And so I think that, one of the things you have to wrap your head around is that there are these different audiences. And if you're a legal tech and you're selling, that's why a lot of times we start with segments, is really understanding how do you break it up. So you can see here that we said a law practice law firm, large 1,000, 5,000, folks that are in the legal operations departments or IT departments, and then within North America. And that gives us a more segmented niche here. And then you've created another one for us here that's B2B, large enterprise, and they're in the legal department. Again, more of a narrow target. And one of the things that I love about this tool for teams is this ability to come in here and kind of rank our capabilities for these, which really give us a priority score up here. And so if we've got 5 or 6 to 10 segments, different audiences that we might target, and again, the other one might be law firms that are 1 to 10 people, right? And we're going to come in here and rank things like what's our experience, how is the competition, how specialized is our product to that market. We're building priority scores, which automatically help us narrow down and say, these are the right folks that we should really be going after and putting the majority of our time and money into. And the great thing about this is that each person in your team can do their rank, and then it creates a team rank, so that you really can look at it from different folks' perspectives within the organization and come to agreement on these are the 2 to 3 segments that we really need to focus on.
Yeah, so the segments is allowing us to figure out who the targeted audience is in this case, who to go after, because there's going to be different dynamics if you're dealing with the law firm as opposed to dealing with in-house counsel at corporations. So that's fantastic exercise there. We actually were just talking to someone about that as their big challenge in the business is there's all these different areas of opportunity. How do I prioritize and really focus on the right specific segment? So that's,
because
definitely.
we always talk about you only have so much time, you only have so much money, and being too broad. If you say, well, we're going to go after everybody, but being segmented where you say, okay, our product is absolutely best and our situation is absolutely best for law firms between 10 and 200 people within North America. And we know that is the segment where, again, there's the greatest demand. We've got high specialization. The competition is a little bit lower. That is being hyper strategic about how you go to market. And it's such an important piece.
Yeah, for sure. And then let's shift gears here and look at the persona. So after we've defined a segment, now we can define the people by title typically, that we're going to really want to understand. These are the people that are making decisions, or at least researching, involved in the decision. And we're able to extrapolate and pull a lot of great information here.
Yeah, and so now that we're in our personas, we're building this out, and we've got a ton of different, predefined blocks, things like demographic information, background, personality. You can see as we get down here that we haven't researched these yet, but pains. I love to understand pains because you want to know what keeps folks up at night. That is what they're going to click on ads with messaging of. Buying factors. We need to know that in the sales process is what do they use to evaluate and make decisions. Motivations get into, again, that advertising. What are their responsibilities? Who influences them? What trends are they currently interested in? What software do they use now? What solutions are they most interested in? Channels, sources. You can see all of this stuff that if we understand these pieces, it really gives us a clear picture across marketing and sales to significantly be more effective. And not just us as, if you're a legal tech leader, but making sure that your entire team is on the same page so that if you have somebody in marketing, someone in sales, someone in product, you're all working off of the same idea of who the best target audience is and what matters to them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so I'll just show, that's the great thing with AI is that now we have the capability that we have frictionless that can go out there and we're looking for pains. And now we're saying, okay, for this person that we decide was the law firm partner, what are pains that they have, managing billable hours and profitability, talent acquisition and retention, workload management and delegation, maintaining firm culture and more morale. These are hyper specific, again, to law firms, partners, the size of the organization. And so we're really getting information that truly does match now what our target audience is. And the great thing is it did the research for us, but now we can hone this down and say, okay, well, especially related to our software, maybe we handle legal talent and retention. We can kind of talk a little bit more and specify this pain further. Again, so our team is all on the same page about these are the 4 big pains that we really focus on and we want to understand, and we're going to customize those. And I'll just show an example of a few more. So obviously buying factors, data security and compliance, vendor reputation, proven track record. Again, these are factors that someone uses to evaluate when they make a decision. So we know going in the sales process that these law partners are going to most of the time talk about, is it cost effective? Do you have a proven track record? What's your reputation and support? And what's your security and compliance, right? And so again, everyone in our organization is aligned behind these different factors of these target personas. And just to show, we can switch that then and go to this legal operations manager that we know is part of legal departments. And just to kind of show pains on their side, we'll go and do this. You can see they're completely different, is that we're looking at standardizing processes across departments, facilitating cross-department collaboration, adapting to rapid regulatory changes, just a different viewpoint. And so again, now if we're putting together marketing campaigns and we've determined our best segment and we've now determined these target audiences within them, we are building campaigns, we're building sales materials and processes around this really specific information.
And I was just going to mention, both from a marketing perspective, as well as also sales, it might be that your personas, have different needs, interests, things that will resonate with them. And that maybe during the marketing process, so you're running campaigns, maybe to the 2 different personas, messaging is going to be a little bit different. But even if not, even if, let's say, someone is more of a researcher bringing everything back, they're the ones that are receiving the marketing campaigns back to the partner, to know what, in a sales conversation, what they might be interested in, what their needs might be, to be able to ask relevant questions, having this is super helpful. As you're doing that, I will say sources is one of my favorites here, simply because channels will help us understand where our personas spend their time, what platforms, do they prefer email, do they join webinars, but sources gets into what are the industry resources and events and things like that. So it gets more granular. So those together are really powerful.
And then the key is continuing to dig in, right? And so the great thing is you can build these personas and you really understand who they are. You can see the demographics here at the top. But then you really get into things like what questions, and whether, we've got some here, but you can ask any question that you have. But right now we're asking, what are the long-term aspirations that they have? And again, this may be something that we use as part of a campaign, is really understanding where do they want to go in their career. So, legal operations manager in a large enterprise company aspire to a seamless integrated legal infrastructure. Long-term goal is to establish a standardized set of processes. Kind of goes to where even they want to go in their role. And so now we've got this information here that we can really use over and over and continue to ask our own questions that we're looking for, right?
Yeah, I love the question feature, because there are things that you might consider that's not in the persona data, but once you ask it, you can get that as supplemental info to everything else that you've built out already.
100%. So I think the most important thing here that we walk away with is, if you're a legal tech company, again, there are a wide range of different segments that you can target, from in-house, again, to law firms, different sizes, different specialties, and then even the different roles within that, everything from partner to paralegal to operations, whatever it might be. And then even the roles outside that, especially if you're legal tech, the IT, in enterprise security, there are a lot of different folks that you may touch in the marketing and sales process. And if you don't understand each of those, and each of your salespeople and marketing people don't have that as a core understanding, you really are going to be very ineffective in anything that you put out there. And so I think this process for a legal tech of coming in and making sure that they know who they want to target, they prioritize that, they build out these personas, and they come to a shared understanding of why these people do what they do, what they're going to do, how they think. That is truly the foundation for success.
That's the word I use all the time. This is really the foundational, one of the foundational pieces of the whole go-to-market strategy and building out, your strategic roadmap. So good stuff for anyone that is interested, wants to see what this looks like and how it works for Frictionless. It's frictionlesshq.com. You can sign up for a free account there, take it for a test drive. And if you want, schedule a demo with us and we could go into deeper conversation and walk you through it. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Take care.
This episode of the Vision Gap Show has been brought to you by Frictionless. Build high-impact strategy at scale. Create your vision, brand position, and go-to-market strategy, all in a collaborative AI-enabled workspace. Visit frictionlesshq.com to create your free account today.